Welcome to Hebrew Words in Scripture. This is lesson 72. This lesson, let's look at James, the brother of John, and James, the son of Alphaeus. We see these names recorded in Matthew 10, verse 2 and 3. Now the names of the 12 apostles are these: the first, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James, the son of Zebedee, and John his brother, and Philip, and Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthew the publican, James the son of Alphaeus, and Lebus, whose surname is Thaddeus. We find both of these men mentioned here in verse 2 and 3 as James with a Greek source of 2385, when notice that both names are the same name, James. And we see this is pronounced in the Greek Iakobos, and its definition is, interestingly enough, James, meaning a supplanter. First definition is James, a son of Zebedee, an apostle and brother of the apostle John, commonly called James the Greater or James the Elder. We also see a second apostle, the son of Alphaeus, sometimes called James the Less. And we see a third James, James the half-brother of Jesus. Notice the ending of this word is with an S, Iakobos, and we see that it's coming from G2384, Iakob, which means Jacob or heel holder or supplanter. So the first word, James, Iakobos, is defined as James, and the second word, Iakob, is defined as Jacob, and both are defined as a supplanter, Jacob as a heel holder. And of course, Jacob and Esau were born as twins. Esau was born first, but Jacob, his hand grasped the heel of Esau as he was to be a supplanter, that is, to take the place of the firstborn. And Jacob has its Hebrew origin in H3290. Yot, Ayin, Kuf, Bet, Yaakov, Jacob, heel holder or supplanter, the son of Isaac, a grandson of Abraham. And this comes from H6117, Ain, Kuf, Bet, Yaakov. The definition is to supplant or circumvent, to take by the heel, to follow at the heel, to overreach. So the primitive root means to swell out or up. Perhaps that means to become prominent, as Jacob became prominent, the head of the family, as opposed to Esau, who diminished. Seizing of the heel is the idea of tripping up, maybe to restrain, as holding him back so Jacob could be the preeminent of the sons, therefore the supplanter. These final notes may indicate a pathway in which Jacob, the name Jacob, became the name James. Here from a Greek dictionary we see Jacob from Jacob became Iakobos in the Greek, and it says that it is a form, the Greek form of the preceding, and is James. So Iakobos was a Hellenized form of the Hebrew name Jacob. So here are the changes that puzzle me. The C or K in Jacob becomes silent. The B becomes an M, and there's an added S at the end. Wikipedia offers some suggestions. It says it is a modern descendant through Old French James of the Vulgar Latin Iacomos. Notice here that the B has become an M and the final S has been added. And through the Portuguese Tiago and the Spanish Iago, we see a softening of the K. And we see that the final S in the English first names is typical of those borrowed from Old French. Examples are Jules, Miles, and Charles. And so we see that James is the Hellenized form of Jacob, which points out again the total influence of Greek culture on the Hebrew population in Jerusalem at the time of Christ.